out here at D-Town Farm in Detroit. We're part of the Detroit Black Community Food Security Network, and we're at a 7-acre farm here in Rouge Park. We started out in about 2007 as a buying club, the Ujamaa Buying Club, to buy nutrient-dense produce for ourselves and our neighbors in Detroit. I wasn't back here, but our group. And so things kind of happened, and we morphed into D-Town Farm, and we also have a Food Warriors program, which is a children's program, and we have a high school program, and we're working on building a cooperatively owned grocery store here in Detroit to keep dollars circulating in the community and nutrient-dense produce. So we've been around for quite a few years and building black food sovereignty here in Detroit. Detroit is a very food insecure area, suffering from food apartheid. We could have grocery stores here, but there's many reasons, systemic racism, that we do not. And so we are here in order to put healthy, culturally relevant food in the community around us. So we are growing all types of produce. We don't have any livestock, but we have honeybees, and then we have, nightshades, tomatoes, peppers, potatoes. We have onions, we have callaloo and okra. We do collard greens and turnip greens and beets and cabbages and all sorts of produce and some garlic and all that stuff. We don't think anybody can own land, but we are here stewarding the land. This is unceded Anishinaabe territory, and we are in a lease agreement with the city of Detroit in order to steward these 7 acres here. Yeah, so we sell our produce here in the local community. We do a farm stand out on our site from 9 to 12 on Saturdays and Sundays. We're gearing up to be selling our produce next summer in the Detroit People's Food Co-op. And so at the Food Commons, you'll be able to get that. And we're also part of a non-official growing cooperative with a couple other black farmers here in Detroit that's partnering with the Detroit Black Farmer Land Fund to sell produce through Eastern Market. Production challenges. Well, as you can see, we are in a big park, and so we have a lot of pressure from groundhogs, from rabbits, from all sorts of different creatures, from voles. So they're trying to eat, but we'd prefer they don't eat our stuff. And so that's definitely a challenge, and we also have the back part of our farm tends to flood almost every spring right now, and so we're right by the Rouge River, so the water table is quite high, and so that can be a barrier to us getting produce in the ground early on, and so we sometimes start a little bit later. We're in Michigan, so as climate continues to change and our winters continue to change, the lack of super cold temperatures in the winter has increased our pest pressure, and the longer holding on winters have made it so that we can't get our things started as quickly. We also aren't connected to the city for our power, and so it can be unreliable to always be doing our own seedlings because we don't have consistent lighting or heating. So we luckily have some partnerships, so we get seedlings from them, and that's definitely a barrier, but pest pressure, we almost got them all. We have cabbage moths, I'm sure some are crossing the screen. We have squash bugs, cucumber beetles, we have aphids, a lot of them. We got a whole bunch of stuff, but we do companion planting and we rotate our beds a lot to try and decrease that, and using organic practices and hand picking bugs off, and garlic cayenne mixture spray, so we can decrease that pressure. We also use a lot of volunteer labor. Fortunately, we have a lot of people come on Saturdays and Sundays to help us out, so from 8 to 12 we're out here. But we also have a pretty small team for quite a big space, and so one of our challenges is always having enough hands to do all the work. And so we have a couple partnerships with some urban ag groups and Semester in Detroit, and so we get interns out here almost every summer to help with some of the work, which really is very essential and helpful for us. And then just also the nature of farm work being quite seasonal, it's hard, sometimes we lose people in the winter who can't return, so building that generational knowledge of the space, it can sometimes be a barrier as we continue to build capacity to have people on the site year after year. Very important to us out here is also to elevate culturally important and culturally relevant practices. So we know our African indigenous ancestors had a lot of growing knowledge, which is why they were enslaved and brought out here to begin with. And so we lean on a lot of our DNA knowledge of growing and of stories of our ancestors, as well as wanting to partner with some of the local natives in the community. Anishinaabe stewarded this land, and so listening to some of their practices of how to use regenerative agriculture, as they call it now, and to treat earth well and treat the plants well, as we're also putting nutrient-dense food into our own bodies. We're definitely looking forward to having a more sustainable place to sell food at the Detroit Food Commons, but we're welcoming to everyone to come out here and join us. There's space to learn and space to teach out here, so definitely come out and join us. Hit us up if you want to bring a group out, or come out on Saturdays and Sundays and get dirty with us and grow some produce and breathe in D-Town Farm. So hope you join us.